As most of you probably already heard, earlier today there was a horrible tragedy in Virginia. A black man killed 3 innocent white people in what is obviously a racially motivated killing. Hashtag White Lives Matter. Okay. Yeah, that's obviously ridiculous. That's obviously not what happened at all, and it's really just playing on race as a way to try and bait people into getting pissed off about something that more than likely isn't true. But when something like this happens, and this is a horrible, terrible tragedy, 3 people lost their lives because of somebody who was mentally unstable and a disgruntled employee. And that's a horrible thing. And it's a horrible thing regardless of race, regardless of who commits that crime against who. Doesn't matter. It's a horrible tragedy, and we need to understand that. But when situations like this come up, it's a really good way to point out the hypocrisy of people who try to make everything about race, but yet only when it furthers their own agenda. And that's exactly what we have here today. Imagine the same situation happening where it was a white person that killed 3 black people. He was mentally unstable, he was a disgruntled employee, but he was a white person that killed 3 black people. I guarantee you, hashtag Black Lives Matter would be everywhere. Every news outlet, every media center, every tagline, headline, everything you look at would have somebody talking about how this was racially motivated. You would have Louis Farrakhan, the Black Panthers, you'd have probably even President Obama himself out there talking about how this is a horrible tragedy and how we need to work on our race issue in this country. But yet, take this situation as it is, and nobody will say anything about race in this particular situation. Why? Because it doesn't fit the agenda. And what is the agenda? Well, it's about control. You see, people like Obama, other people in power, Al Sharpton, Louis Farrakhan, these people have their own set of agendas. And getting a portion of the population pissed off at another portion of the population helps them to further their agenda and to take attention away from the things they don't want you paying attention to, whether it's the economy or corrupt government or add any list of things that we have issues with in this country. It's a form of control on the people. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Do you think that Obama or Louis Farrakhan or Al Sharpton really care about the people who are involved in Black Lives Matter? No. They're using those people as a tool, as a means to further their own agenda. And that's what we're talking about here. So when you see something like this pop up, it's a great way, even though it is a tragedy, to point out the hypocrisy of what they are doing, to throw it in their face, ask them to defend it. They can't, because they are being hypocrites. And it's important that we point this out every time because they are taking the attention away from the real problems in this country. I mean, they love to talk about how cops kill black people and white people kill black people, yet facts show that cops kill more white people every year. That there are more black people killing white people than white people killing black people every year. So it flies in the face of reason, common sense, and fact when they talk about hashtag Black Lives Matter and how important it is and how there's this horrible tragedy going on in our country, how we're so racist and so evil as white people. And it's just not true. They're furthering their own agenda away from the things that are actually important. And that's what we have to understand, and that's what we have to know. So, the next time you're around somebody who starts spouting off things like Black Lives Matter or Black Panthers or whatever it is, Michael Brown, doesn't matter. Do yourself a favor. Do them a favor. Do society a favor. And give them a nice, long, hard, swift kick in the ass.